Hi everyone. In last sessions, what we discussed about of the simple notification service. In that simple notification services, already we discussed of the cloud watch. And what is the purpose of the cloud watch? Cloud watch is nothing but to monitor our AWS resources. And after that, we discuss about of the simple notification services. So a simple notification services based on the it will be work based on the pub model and sub model. What is the pub model? Pub is nothing but publisher and sub is nothing but subscriber. Suppose I want to some notification from the AWS side, then we have to subscribe that email and we have to publish that based on our conditions. It will be publish our email. That is called as a pub sub model. So that is called as a we can say called as a simple notification services. But today we are going to see new topic that is called as the AWS CLI. What is the AWS CLI? CLI is nothing but command line interfaces. This is not any services. We are not talking about of the any services here. Suppose I want to access my AWS account. This is my AWS account. Then how many ways we can access our AWS account? By using of the web console. As of normal, we are using that is called as a web console. It is a we can say called as a graphical user interfaces. By using of the graphical user interfaces, then we can connect our AWS account by using of the credentials, and we can create a different infrastructures and modify the infrastructure as per the requirement. That is called as a web console AWS. But it is a very simple to use. There is a no required to the knowledge of the scripting. But whenever we talking about of the AWS CLI, at that time we required of the scripting knowledge, because I want to create some suppose I want to create some infrastructure, then we have to write some command in our AWS CLI, then we will get the some output from the AWS account. But whenever we're talking about of the real time we will go with Terraform. I want to create some infrastructure in my AWS account, then we have to go with Terraform. So we are not using of the web console in the real time scenario, and we are not going to any AWS CLI, because AWS CLI just for being practices, just we are looking here. But whenever we are talking about of the real time, at that time we have to use the Terraform. We will have a separate session for the Terraform. But today we will discuss about of the AWS CLI. AWS CLI is nothing but suppose I want to create some infrastructure in my AWS site, then we will use the AWS CLI command, and then we will create our resources in our AWS account. AWS provides the multiple ways to configure and manage the infrastructure. That is called as a we can say called as web console, AWS CLI, then Terraform. These are the things to configure and manage the infrastructure. But using of the web console, this is the graphical user interface. Then we can easily configure and then we can easily modification, etc., etc. But whenever we're talking about of this command line interfaces, at that time we have to write it with some command. Like suppose I want to create a AWS, I want to check my suppose I want to check my suppose I want to check some commands in CLI. Suppose I want to check S3 bucket is available or not in my AWS account. Then we have to write it the $AWS S3 LS. Yeah, LS already we discussed in our Linux sessions. Okay, what is the purpose of the LS? LS is nothing but list. Okay, so we are showing up the some list that is called as LS. Already we know that long list if you want to. That is called as a command line scripting. Just we have to write it some command, then we will get the some output from the AWS side. So, but whenever we have to use of the when we have to use this command, whenever we are going with AWS CLI. By using of the AWS CLI, we can manage the infrastructure in AWS using of like these commands. Okay, but whenever we talking about of the real-time scenario, at that time we have to go with Terraform. What is the Terraform? Terraform is nothing but by using of the Terraform, we can create a infrastructure in our AWS account. But we will have some separate session for the Terraform. First, we will discuss about of the AWS CLI. So, how to download the CLI? So just you have to search here the AWS, okay, then CLI, then we will get a desktop application here. So already I have installed in my machine. So you can see here the whenever we going with Windows, then we have to select Windows. Otherwise, Linux operating system users have to select this Linux. Then Mac OS operating system has to select this Mac OS. So depending on your requirement, we have to select it and we have to download it. Once we download it, then we have to just we have to install them in our machines. It's a simple installation process. After that, just we have to open the AW command prompt here. Sorry, just click on enter the command prompt. Command once we enter the command prompt here, then we have to check our AWS CLI is installed or not in my machines. Then how to check AWS, then hyphen version. So then we will get the, you can see here the AWS CLI 2.31a. So CLI is based on the Python. Okay, so that's why we can see here the Python. So CLI, AWS CLI is developed in the Python. So that's why we can see here the Python also. So you can see here the, it is already installed in my machines. But before going to the all those stuffs, we have to first connect our AWS account by using of the CLI. Then how to connect it here? Already we discussed in our IMA services. Then we have to create a one access key and secret key. By using of the access key and secret key, so we can say called as a, we can connect it with our machine. But whenever we talking about of the any of the things here, suppose already we discussed here, this is my AWS console. Okay, you can consider this is my AWS. Okay, so this is the AWS cloud. In this cloud, how many ways we can connect it? How many ways we can, right now we can connect right now we are connecting the three ways. Okay, so first one is a Terraform, second one is a, we can say called as a, we can say called as a AWS CLI, then third one is a web console. So web console already we are discussing from starting day. So every day we are using the web console. Here, whenever we're talking about of the, this is the web console. We can access every day here. Right now, I want to access my AWS account by using of the CLI. Then we have to use the CLI here. Then third, in the real-time scenario, real-time company oriented, whenever we're talking about of the real-time scenario, at that time we have to use the Terraform. So every company using the Terraform. Okay, it depends, but I want to create some infrastructure in my AWS account, then we have to go with Terraform. So how many ways right now we are connecting with our AWS account, web console, then CLI and Terraform. These three ways right now we have the options. You can see here. So web console, whenever we creating the whenever we log in the web console, there is a no required for the access key and secret key, because web console based on our password and user credentials. So that is called as a, we can say called as a web console. But whenever we talking about of the AWS CLI, AWS CLI is nothing but, so I want to connect with my AWS CLI, then we have to open with command prompt, and then just we have to verify the AWS CLI is installed or not here. Then I want to use some command. I want to connect with my AWS, then we have to first configure. So how to configure my machines? We have to use the AWS configure command. Then once we configured the AWS account, then we can create a infrastructure by using our AWS CLI. So first of all, we have to create you can see this is my IAM user account. You can see this is my account ID. This is my account ID. Then you can see here the security. Go to the just security credentials. So I have provided some here. You can see roles. Also, you can check in my account. So I have so many roles here. So many users also there. Okay, whatever I have created. But suppose if we created the IAM user, then we have to provide suppose I want to create a access key and secret key. At that time, we have to provide the policy that is called as the administrator. If we don't have any policy like administrator policy is not available in the test user account, then we cannot create the secret and access key in our test user account. So that's why we have to add the administrator policy in our test user account. So already we discussed these policies. You can see here I have provided the administrator access, then full access for the AWS, and this is the by default while we creating the IAM user. After that, I have provided the one S3 full access, S3 services, then administrator access. Administrator access, if we have, then we can modify some service. We can modify the administrator level of the. We can access at the administrator level. So that's why I have provided the administrator access in my permission policies. Then here just click on your user account. If you are using the root account, at that time you can see the security credentials. Then click on the security credentials. In that security credentials, you can see here the access key. What is the access key? Access key is nothing but you can see here what is the purpose of the access key. Using of the access key, send the programmatic calls to the AWS from the AWS CLI, then PowerShell, different way we can connect our AWS account. But right now, how many ways we can see here? Three ways: AWS CLI, Web Console, and Terraform. We will have separate session for the Terraform. AWS CLI. Right now we are learning. Then Web Console. Every day we will access to the. We will use Web Console. So that is called as a and right now also we are using the web console that is called as a web console. So I am going to create one access key here. You can see here just I'm selecting the command line interfaces. Okay, then you can see here the understand the recommendation. The next, then you can suppose if you want to add some tags for the descriptive, then you can add it, otherwise we will leave it. It's optional. Then you can see here this is my secret key and this is my access key. If you want to download it, then you can download it. Okay, after that you can see here the access key. This is my access key and this is my secret key. So what is the secret key? Secret key is nothing but we can say called as it is a one type of the password. Whenever we're talking about of the real-time scenario, to don't share to anyone. So don't share to anyone to secret key and access key. Access key, that is the fine. We can say call it is the username. But if we have the secret key, then suppose I'm having a one secret key, then I can log in my AWS account because uh, we are using secret key. Secret key is nothing but it is a password. Suppose I have sent to someone the secret key, access key, then that user can access my AWS account. So that's why we uh, it is a confidential data. To we are not sharing this secret key to anyone. Okay, and also access key. Whenever we're talking about of the real-time scenario, suppose uh, right now that is the fine. We are just learning purpose. we can create a number of access key and secret. But whenever we're talking about of the real-time scenario, this access key we are we can say called the we have to keep this secret key in our keyword. What is the keyword? Keyword is nothing but whatever we have the credential data. So whatever we have the sensitive data like password, username, whatever we have the uh, sensitive data, that type of the data we will store in our keyword. What is the keyword? Keyword is nothing but we can say called as a it is a one type of secret storage in our AWS account everywhere. Whenever we're talking about of the Azure also, in Azure also we have the keyword. In AWS also we have the keyword. Everywhere we have the keyword. That keyword we can say called as it will be keep as it is secret. Then we can say called as it will be send the data in the encrypted format. No one can see our secret key and access key. So whatever we have the sensitive data, where we will store that data in our keyword. That is called as a keyword functions. So right now we are not talking about any keyword. Just suppose whenever you created the secret key and access key, to don't share to anyone. If we are sharing this key, access key and secret key, then definitely anyone can access your AWS account. Not talking about of the any AWS only. Suppose I'm having a one secret key for the Flipkart application, then I can easily access because it's a secret data which will be how to store in our keyword. What is the keyword? Keyword is nothing but we can say called as it is a one secret word. What is the secret word? Secret word is nothing but whatever we have the sensitive data, we have to store in our we have to store in our we have to store in our keyword, and that word will be uh, encrypted format. No one can see your data in our keyword. So this is my access key and secret key I have downloaded. Once we download it, then I want to configure my AWS account. Then how to configure? Just we have to write it here the AWS, sorry, AWS. Right now I'm in uh, command from. Suppose if you want to use the git bash, then you can use it. Okay, it depends on you. Okay, after that we have to configure here. How to configure? Just AWS configure. I'm using the command here. You can see here that it will be asked for the AWS access key ID. Then what we have to? We have to just copy this access key and then we have to paste it. Once we paste it, then it will be asked for the secret. If we are not providing the secret key, then we cannot access our AWS account because somewhere my AWS account just I am going to the programmatically here. You can see here this is my secret access key. Okay. Then you can see here the which region you want to use it here. You can see here the which region we are using right now. So you can see I think we, we created the secret key at a global level. So I don't want to this. So let me recreate here because I want to use the AP South here. But not sure. Let me update this one. See, region we are not selected. So that's why we can see here, and you can see here anywhere. Can we see the secret key? No, we cannot see anywhere. So I want to delete it, then you can delete it. Okay. Then just we have to copy that secret key and we have to paste it. Then how to copy and how to paste it? You can copy from here and just click on the action, then click on the delete here and just paste it. I think we have to first we have to deactivate this one. Then we have to, okay. I have deleted here. I want to create the, let me refresh it. Something is, I think. Oh, right now we are in a test user account. So that is the fine. So we can select, okay. Later on, just I'm creating one here, secret key. You can see here the secret key. I want to just, just I have exit from that configuration. Then I'm again configuring my machine here, configuring my machine. It will be asked for the secret key. Then it will be asked for me secret access key also. Okay, then where, which region you want. This will be asked these questions. We can set later on here. You can see here the which region we are using here, AP South one. You can see here the, by default we can see here AP South one. Just we have to write it as it is because I want to use AP South region. That is the okay for me. So I have selected AP dash South dash one here. So here it will be asked for, it is asking for me what kind of, what kind of format you want to data here. So just I'm saying I'm okay with JSON. So it is connected successfully. So you can, I want to check, uh, list down all buckets are available or not in my AWS account. Just I want to check how many S3 buckets are available in our AWS account. So how to check it? AWS, then S3, then LS. Already we discussed here. You can see here the, so two buckets are created. One is elastic means that. Then you can see here the command, and when we have created this bucket with timing also, you can see here these two kind of buckets I have created. Suppose I want to check, suppose I want to create a new S3 bucket in my AWS. So how to create by using of the web console? Just we have to search the S3 bucket and just we have to go with S3 bucket and just we have the, whatever we have the option, just we have to select it. But just I want to create a new bucket by using of the command line. So suppose how to, suppose apart from that, suppose I want to create a one AWS S3 bucket here. Just AWS, then I'm seeing here the service name that is called as S3, then yes LS, what is not LS. Okay, so then we have to write it here the MB. What is the MB? MB is nothing but make bucket, then S3. Okay, then colon forward slash. I'm saying here the test, we can say call as a anything here, but bucket name every time should have the unique, because already we know that if it is not unique, then it won't be accessed from the AWS account setting. That's why just I have entered the random number. Then just I have created the bucket here, make bucket. You can see here the my bucket is created successfully. I want to check my bucket is created not here. Then already we know that is the then list. You can see here the how many buckets we have right now. We have the 3 buckets here. Suppose I want to check the um, suppose I want to check the particular bucket here. Suppose list down all object of the bucket. I want to check how many objects are available in my bucket. Then how to list down all object of the bucket. So before earlier we use the AWS S3 LS, that is called list down all buckets are available. But my requirement is a list down all object. What is the object? Object is nothing but what is the purpose of the S3 bucket? S3 bucket is nothing but it is a block storage. So we will store the meta type of the data like images, IDO, backup, number of users of the S3 bucket. So just I want to use the how many objects in my particular of the bucket, how many objects are available in my S3 bucket. Then which command we have to write it here? AWS S3, then ls, then S3, then we have to write it the particular bucket name also. We can say called as my bucket, we can say called as my bucket. Okay, then we can say called as a recursive. What is the recursive purpose? Recursive is nothing but it will be show the your uh, object, how many objects. You can see here the how many objects are available in my bucket. I think you can see here the calling of the list of object. It is access denied because we don't have any access for this bucket right now. We don't have any objects. We don't have any object because latest just we created this bucket. So that's why we can see the error occurred. Access denied whenever we calling of the list of the object operations. So this is we are not accessing. Suppose I want to one copy the file into my bucket. Then how to copy that bucket? How to copy? So we have to use the command AWS S3 CP command. Already we know that where we use the CP command in the Linux scripting. Already we discussed CP command. Already we discussed the make mkdir. I want to create a one directory. Here just we have the one command that is called as a make bucket. That is called as a mb. I want to use the I want to copy my I want to copy the one file that is called as a CP. That is so AWS then S3. But before going to create copy the file, particular the file, first we have to create the file. Where we have to create the file in the users in in ASUS we have to, because right now where we are in C drive, then user, then ASUS, then a here we have to create. Here I'm going to create a one file name. So it's a dummy file name. So just I'm entering here the text.txt. So I want to upload this file into the my bucket. So what is the my bucket name? So I want to check here. Just I have cleared my all list. So I want to check the bucket name. What is the bucket name here? So you can just we have to enter the AWS, then S3, then LS. You can see here this is my bucket name. Where we can check this bucket also. So I want to check the bucket in our consoles. Just we have to go here in AWS account, then S3 services. Just click on the S3 services. So you can check here how many buckets and my bucket is created or not here. So just I want to check it here. You can see here this is the bucket which is already be created from the AWS CLI. Okay, after that just I want to upload the one object in my current bucket. So how we can do this one? So we have to enter the AWS, then S3, then CP. CP is nothing but we can say called as a copy. Okay, copy command. Then we have to enter the file name. Then we have to uh, S3, then colon, then double forward slash. then bucket name. What is the bucket name? Which is already we created this bucket name test 1993 like this. After that, we have to enter the file name. What is the file name here? Test.txt. So this is my object test.txt I want to upload in my bucket. So you can see here the I have entered, and you can see successfully we uploaded the object in our bucket. So whatever you have the desired bucket name, just we have to enter the desired bucket. Then we will store our object into that bucket. So I want to check my object is stored or not in this AWS account. Then how we can check it here? Just click on the AWS S3. Then you can see here the successfully we added the bucket, then last modified, and then you can see each and everything here. So this is my CLI through we can upload the object. Just for being practices, just we are seeing this uh, CLI command. Okay, but in real time scenario, what we have to use it? We have to use the Terraform in real time scenario. So in real time project, we have to use the Terraform. So I want to remove the suppose I want to remove this object by using of the command line. So we have the different commands in that. So you can already we discussed the remove command. What is the remove command? Remove command is nothing but if you want to remove something like from our uh, system, then we have to use the remove command. So I want to remove my object from my bucket, then we have to use here AWS, then S3, then remove. Remove is nothing but rm command. Then we have to enter the S3, then colon double forward slash. What is my bucket name? Bucket name is a test 12993 like this. Then we have to enter the file name. What is the file name here? File name is what was the file name? Test.txt. This is my file. Just we have to enter here. You can see the our object is deleted from the bucket. So just you can check here, we can see the bucket. Once after refresh here, we cannot see the object in our bucket because we removed the bucket. We removed the object from our bucket. So I want to check the, suppose I want to remove the bucket. So whatever I want to delete bucket from the AWS side, then we have to use AWS S3 service name, then remove bucket RB command. Then what is the bucket name? S3 colon double forward slash, then bucket name. Just enter. Once we entered, you can see here the remove this bucket. I want to check my bucket is removed or not here. AWS S3, then service name, then LS. Then you can see here the my bucket is removed. I want to remove these two remaining bucket. Then how we can remove it? You can just we have to enter the one wait. Just I'm calling the repeat this. Then we have to sorry we are removing the first bucket. So it was RB command. This is the bucket. So I want to remove here. You can see here that you cannot remove it because it is a access denied. Someone is created because this bucket name is someone is created. Why we can see here the access denied? Because right now we are in IAM user. So that is the purpose of the IAM user. So and this bucket I have created in my root account user. So that's why it is not allowing to me delete the bucket because so in on console also whenever we trying to delete the our bucket, then also we will see the same issue there. So that is the purpose of the IAM user. IAM is nothing but we have to apply the policies and we have to some number of rules And according to the number of rows and policy wise, we will see the action in our AWS account. So we have the different commands, like suppose I want to some install the softwares in the, suppose installing the AWS CLI in Ubuntu in Linux VM. Suppose I want to launch one VM, then we have the we have to use the AWS then EC2. So already we discussed here. Suppose I want to perform one command there, then we have to enter the AWS, then we have to that service name. Suppose I want to create us one EC2 machines, then what we have to do here, just we have to enter the EC2. But whenever we go into the EC2 instances, at that time, before going to create of the EC2 instances, we have to create the key pair, because already we know that what is the purpose of the key pair. Key pair is nothing but I want to access my EC2 machines. For the security purpose we have to create it, because right now where we are in my user account, so we don't have any key pair. So suppose this is the key pair, we don't have any key pair, then can we create the EC2 machines? No, we cannot create the EC2 machines, because it is a security credentials. Already we know that security group, then key pair, because right now where right now I'm in C drive user, then access. At that time, at this directory, we don't have any key pair value. So that's why first we have to create the key pair. So it's a simple thing. By using of the AWS CLI, we can create a different services in our AWS account. But in real time scenario, in real time project, can we use this one? No, we cannot use this one, because we have the separate concept that is called the Terraform. Then we will have the some separate sessions for the Terraform. So it would be around 6 7 sessions for the Terraform. So I want to create some infrastructure by using of the Terraform. Then we will see same. Suppose I want to create a S3 bucket. I want to launch EC2 instances. Otherwise, I want to uh, create some load balancer by using of the Terraform. Then we will use the Terraform. So we will see the again same services in our Terraform, but where we can create the our services in our Terraform. So we have to write it some command, then it will be created in our AWS account. At that time, are we going to use any web console for the AWS? No, we are not going to any web console use at that time, because I want to create some infrastructure in my project. Then we have to go with Terraform. So that is the things we can say called the AWS CLI. So AWS CLI is the same thing. Then Terraform also is same thing. But in the real time, we will use the Terraform. So I think AWS CLI, that's it. We will start tomorrow. Next services, like I think we have the Elastic Bean Stack. We have the next service that is called as a Elastic Bean Stack. So Elastic Bean Stack is nothing but this is the we will discuss, because this service we are not going to use anywhere in the practically, because this is the ready-made platform. So we will see tomorrow. We will start our new services that is called as the Elastic Bean Stack. So I think that's it for the AWS CLI. Just we created the one bucket, then in that one bucket we just uploaded the so one object. So suppose I want to know that how many commands, how many, suppose I want to create the some services by using of the AWS CLI, then we can recommend uh, So we can refer the CLI documentation, AWS CLI documentation. You can see here and by using of the documentations, we can copy that command and we can, suppose I want to, you can see here each and every services we have the documentation part. Suppose user guides, here you can see here the user guides, installation CLI. You can see here the how we can install it, then how we can see the AWS version, then we can see the, because CLI is based on the, it is developed from the Python, it is developed in the Python code, so that's why we can see here the, then after that you can see here the documentation for the Linux, then Mac, then I want to configuration, then you can see here the configuration settings. These are the things we have the using of the CLI command. Then you can see here the command structure. In that command structure, you can refer. Suppose I want to create some services. Then what we have to do? We can use a AWS CLI documentation part, and we can pick up that. We can say call it we can pick that command and we can create our AWS services. You can see here the different services we have, then configuration. Suppose I want to some configure the environment variable, then you can see here the access key and secret key for that particular, then region. So each and every we can see documentation part in our AWS CLI documentation. So this is the documentation part which is help to the creator services by using of the AWS CLI. So I think that's it for today. So we will start tomorrow new services. Okay. Thank you guys.